This video is brought to you by NVIDIA AI. On May 20th, 2024, the seafood chain Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy and announced it would be closing almost 100 locations across the country. With almost 600 restaurants across the US and Canada, Red Lobster is the largest seafood chain in North America by far. Every year they buy 20% of all lobster tails sold in North America. The proximate cause of the bankruptcy was the unlimited shrimp deal they've been offering since June of 2023. For $20, you could order an unlimited amount of shrimp until the restaurant closes. This deal went viral on social media, with people posting challenge videos seeing how many shrimp they could eat. People's appetite for shrimp was far greater than expected, costing Red Lobster millions of dollars in losses. However, it would be an oversimplification to blame the company's demise just on this unlimited shrimp deal. Red Lobster has been losing money for years, and this generous promotion was a desperate attempt to get more customers in the door. Red Lobster has a long and complicated history that eventually found itself being owned by the massive seafood company called Thai Union. In this video, we'll look at the rise and fall of Red Lobster and how its Thai parent company may have contributed to its demise. Over the past couple years, YouTube has really been pushing YouTube Shorts. At Wall Street Millennial, we've always wanted to start making shorts, but never got around to it because we spend all of our time making long-form videos. But thanks to today's video sponsor, NVIDIA AI, we finally found a tool to get the job done. You start off by giving it a prompt of what you want the video to be about, and it will write a script for you and find high-quality, relevant stock footage. For example, here I can tell it to create a YouTube short about the bankruptcy of Red Lobster, and give it some key information to include. The coolest part is, you can upload a clip of yourself talking, and it will make an AI clone voice that sounds almost exactly like you. Within minutes, you can have a first draft of a video. What happens when all you can eat turns into all you can lose? Welcome to the dramatic saga of Red Lobster's bankruptcy. That was literally my clone voice and not me talking. Sounds so much like me. Then you can ask it to create changes with text prompts. Here I told it to change to the Kazakh language.
Eğer emyanınız eli tolu bolsa, onda siz Red Lobster'ın songu kishkasına bargan bolunuz mümkün.
You can try it out for free, but I highly recommend you get the paid plan starting at $20 per month. This is the one I have. This allows you to clone your voice, export the videos without watermarks, and you get royalty-free use of the stock footage. This is much better than spending hundreds of dollars per month on traditional video editors and stock footage. If you've ever wanted to try your hand at content creation, just click the link in the description below, and use my code to get twice the number of video generation credits in your first month. Red Lobster was founded in Lakeland, Florida in 1968. The idea was to create a seafood restaurant which served food at relatively affordable prices. The restaurant was a huge success. In 1970, just 2 years after Red Lobster was founded, it was acquired by the food conglomerate General Mills. General Mills is best known for its breakfast cereals, but given their existing capabilities in food distribution, they thought it would be a good idea to expand into owning restaurants as well. General Mills had huge resources to expand the chain. Over the next 25 years, they expanded rapidly, opening up hundreds of locations across the US and Canada. Casual restaurants like Red Lobster differ from fast food in that customers are seated at a table and served by a waiter. But because they are large chains with standardized menus, they are able to achieve economies of scale and offer cheaper prices than independent restaurants. This puts them in a sweet spot between fast food and fine dining. Unlike independent restaurants, casual chains like Red Lobster have hundreds of restaurants around the country. This allows them to conduct national television advertising campaigns, giving them a massive advantage over independent restaurants, which have much more limited marketing options. Seeing the success of Red Lobster, General Mills founded another casual restaurant chain called Olive Garden. Olive Garden serves Italian food instead of seafood, but in terms of its business strategy, it's very similar to Red Lobster. Build hundreds of restaurants across the country to benefit from economies of scale and national advertising. By 1995, General Mills' restaurant business got so big that it started distracting the company's attention from its core business. So they spun off their restaurant brands as an independent company called Darden Restaurants. Darden owned Red Lobster and Olive Garden. They also owned a few other chains, but Red Lobster and Olive Garden were the biggest by far. With national advertising being a key fulcrum of Red Lobster's success, they experimented with a large number of marketing gimmicks over the years. Some of those were more successful than others. In 2003, they ran a promotion where customers could eat an unlimited amount of crab meat for a fixed price. This was designed to bring more customers into the restaurant. As it turns out, they massively underestimated how much crab people could eat and ended up losing millions of dollars. The president of Red Lobster was fired and the promotion was quickly ended. While the unlimited crab promotion was a costly blunder, it was a successful marketing ploy. It indeed brought more customers into the restaurants. so they decided to continue doing unlimited food promotions. But instead of using crab, they would use shrimp. Unlike crab, which has to be caught in the wild, shrimp can be raised on aquatic farms. There are massive shrimp farms in Southeast Asia where shrimp can be raised at a very cheap price. They are frozen and shipped to North America. Since 2004, Red Lobster has run limited time promotions where you can pay a fixed price for unlimited amounts of shrimp. This was far more financially viable, and even if they cost a little bit of money, the promotions were only for a limited time, typically just a few weeks out of the year. The goal of the unlimited shrimp promotion was to lure in first-time customers. If they like the food, hopefully they'll continue coming back after the promotion ends, and buy regular meals with much better profit margins. Red Lobster was doing pretty well until the 2008 financial crisis. The Great Recession caused restaurant traffic to fall industry-wide as consumers cut back on discretionary spending. Red Lobster was especially hard hit. While their menu prices were cheap compared to most independent seafood restaurants, seafood is nonetheless more expensive than most other types of food. In 2014, Darden agreed to sell Red Lobster to a private equity firm called Golden Gate Capital for $2.1 billion. Darden used the proceeds to pay down debt and strengthen its balance sheet, which had deteriorated as a result of the recession. The main strategy of almost all private equity firms is to juice their returns with leverage. In the case of Golden Gate Capital, they thought of a creative way to do this. At the time, Red Lobster owned almost all of the real estate they occupied. With roughly 600 locations, this real estate was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Golden Gate Capital did a sale-leaseback transaction. They sold the real estate to outside investors and had Red Lobster lease back the same locations. This allowed Golden Gate Capital to make back a large portion of their $2.1 billion investment right off the bat. But it permanently decreased Red Lobster's profit margins because now they needed to pay rent to their landlords. After conducting the sale-leaseback transaction, Golden Gate Capital had pretty much done all the financial engineering they could hope to do. There really wasn't any reason for them to continue owning the business. So in 2019, they sold a 49% stake in Red Lobster to a company called Thai Union for $575 million. Thai Union is a massive seafood company based in Thailand. They are best known for owning the Chicken of the Sea brand of canned tuna. So why would a Thai seafood company want to buy an American restaurant chain? In addition to fishing for tuna, Thai Union also operates massive shrimp farms in Thailand. Red Lobster was one of their biggest customers. With Red Lobster being such an important customer, they wanted to buy a stake in the company to help keep it afloat. In 2020, the pandemic caused extreme hardship for the entire restaurant industry. Most restaurants were forced to shut down for months, causing a severe decrease in revenue. By 2021, the pandemic had largely ended, and people started going to restaurants again. This allowed most of the industry to recover pretty quickly. However, Red Lobster's post-pandemic recovery far underperformed the industry average. While we don't have exact figures for Red Lobster's operational performance, we got some information from their recent bankruptcy filings. The company claims that in 2023, their customer traffic was still 30% below 2019 levels. They also say that their revenue only improved marginally between 2021 and 2023. The company blames its poor performance on a number of factors. High inflation has forced consumers to cut back on discretionary spending. People are now more inclined to shop at grocery stores instead of eating out. At the same time, many states have increased their minimum wages, thereby increasing the company's labor expense. This has forced them to raise menu prices, leading to a steep drop-off in sales. They are also locked into long-term lease contracts with their landlords. The value of many of their locations have declined, but they are stuck paying above-market rents until the leases expire. While we don't have detailed financial data for Red Lobster, we at least know their loss from operations in each year. Thai Union owns 49% of Red Lobster, so they have to report their share of the operating loss on their own income statement. Before the pandemic, Red Lobster was already losing $5 to $10 million per year. In 2020, they suffered a massive $67 million loss. Their financial performance recovered slightly in 2021, but in 2022 and 2023, they went back to reporting massive losses. While high inflation impacted the entire restaurant industry, Red Lobster's underperformance was clearly due to company-specific factors. For comparison, Darden Restaurants saw its revenue and operating profits quickly recover to above pre-pandemic levels by 2022. So why did Red Lobster do so much worse? One potential culprit is the high cost of lobsters. According to data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the price of lobster increased massively post-pandemic. The exact reasons for this are unclear. Some industry analysts attribute this to more people experimenting with cooking lobsters at home during the pandemic. Lobsters cannot be farmed, they have to be caught in the wild. Lobster fishing is heavily regulated, which keeps the supply relatively inelastic. Thus, a small increase in demand can cause a substantial increase in prices. Shrimp is much cheaper than lobster. According to IMF data, the price of shrimp has been declining in recent years. In June of 2023, Red Lobster decided to double down on its endless shrimp promotion. Instead of only offering it for a limited time, they would offer it all day, every day, year-round, for the price of $20. The deal quickly went viral on social media. People started posting videos on TikTok showing how many shrimp they could eat. It became something of a challenge where people would try to eat as many shrimp as possible to gain social media clout. For example, a YouTuber called the Notorious Bob ate 31 plates of shrimp. Each plate has 6 shrimp, so he ate 186 shrimp in total, bringing the cost per shrimp down to 11 cents. Another YouTuber called Sir Yacht stayed at Red Lobster for 10 hours and ate 200 shrimps throughout the day. By this point, Red Lobster had increased the price to $25, but he was still able to achieve a cost per shrimp of just 12.5 cents. In the third quarter of 2023, Red Lobster's revenue increased by 4% versus the prior year. This is a pretty paltry revenue increase given how generous their promotion was. High shrimp costs caused them to report an $11 million loss during the quarter. There are many buffets that offer unlimited shrimp and charge $20 for admission. They seem to be doing fine. Why don't they suffer the same losses as Red Lobster? Firstly, buffets offer a wide variety of food, including many carb-heavy options, which cost very little to make. While shrimp is cheaper than lobster, it's still far more expensive than French fries and noodles. Even if a buffet offers shrimp, most people will only eat a small amount of shrimp compared to the total amount of food they eat. Most people prefer a balanced meal instead of only eating shrimp. At Red Lobster, you can only get unlimited shrimp. Diners can eat a very large number of shrimps because they're not being filled up by cheap carbs. Secondly, at a buffet you serve yourself. Thus, buffets have a much lower staff-to-customer ratio, which helps keep their labor costs low. In Red Lobster, each plate of shrimp needs to be served by a waiter. This makes the process much slower, and people stay at the restaurant for far longer than they would at a buffet. The long dining time means that Red Lobster can serve fewer customers. That's why their revenue only increased by 4% after starting the promotion. The people coming for unlimited shrimp crowded out their regular customer base. Red Lobster was already in a precarious financial position. The losses from the unlimited shrimp was enough to push them over the edge. The company filed for bankruptcy in May of 2024. But this begs the question, why did Red Lobster adopt such a reckless promotion? Sure, they are desperate to increase sales, but given the prior history with the unlimited crab promotion 20 years ago, shouldn't they have known better? In March of 2024, it became clear that Red Lobster was headed towards bankruptcy, so they hired a restructuring expert named Jonathan Tibus to be the new CEO. In bankruptcy filings, Tibus explained the reasons for the company's demise. He claims that the previous CEO decided to do the unlimited endless shrimp despite significant pushback from other members of the management team. To secure the necessary shrimp, they entered into burdensome supply contracts with Thai Union, which was also the 49% owner of the company. Thai Union allegedly exercised outsized influence on Red Lobster's shrimp purchasing. The supply contracts with Thai Union did not follow Red Lobster's traditional procurement process. Red Lobster eliminated 2 of their other shrimp suppliers in favor of an exclusive deal to buy all of their shrimp from Thai Union. There was a potential conflict of interest. Through their equity ownership, Thai Union essentially had Red Lobster as a captive customer. They may have pressured Red Lobster to move forward with the unlimited shrimp deal, as this would allow them to sell more shrimp, even if this wasn't in the best interest of Red Lobster itself. While Red Lobster is now bankrupt, they plan to continue operating during the bankruptcy process. The company will be taken over by its lenders, and Thai Union will no longer be involved. They've announced plans to close about 100 of their underperforming stores out of their total of about 600. It is widely expected that they will stop offering unlimited shrimp. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. What do you think about Red Lobster? Do you think they can make a comeback after bankruptcy? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Wall Street Millennial, signing out.